So we got a 2023 GMC 6.2 liter working on the bumper. We got a plastic grill cover and we got a metal bumper. So what I'm gonna tell you guys is very simple. When you're working on something like this, you want to inspect the product, see how it came. It came with imperfections from the dealer. This came out pretty good. So for prepping for paint, you need to go ahead and grab you a red scuff pad. You're gonna sand this stuff real light because this is plastic we dealing with. We don't want that scuff pad to leave sand scratches in there. This scuff pad cut like 320, so it make it way easier and the job come out way cleaner when you use a scuff pad. And it's the same thing with this. You want to make sure you get all in the cracks. That's imperfections right there, but make sure you get all in the cracks and sand everything all in those holes. Get all up in there behind everything because you don't want any of your paint flaking. So basically I'm just showing y'all how I'm sanding. I get everywhere, get real good. And that scuff pad right there, that scuff pad right there cut kind of like 320. You get a pound of deep enough scratches for you to lay the paint down. So right here I'm just basically just showing y'all, just make sure y'all getting all of them cracks, all them holes. Do not miss none of that because the paint will peel. You will be doing the job over. Get all up in there. You want to get under there on the side. You want to make sure everything is real good and scuffed. You want those scratches to be on there. Same step with this. This is plastic, but you scuff it and you scuff it real light. You get on both sides, back, front, side, whatever. Just make sure everything is scuffed. You can also sand this with 600. Some people sand it with 320. But I feel if you want your job to come out pretty good and when you're working with different colors, you want that them scratches to be in there not too deep but just right. And sometimes that sand pad, it'll cut in there too deep and it'll show through there, and that's just extra work because you gotta fix it. So I feel like the scuff pad is more efficient, quicker. It's like a little shortcut, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you get all in the cracks, all on the edges, everything.
Now on the back side.
All on the edges. You see how it look?
So you don't get no paint chipping.
I want to make sure everything is sanded, expected. We had to sand this with 320. Got a few breakthroughs. Coming up in here, I'm gonna clean out the booth, take out all this trash and organize it a little better. I want my paint to come out pretty good, so they got little stuff on the ground that can fly in your paint when the pressure up high, and you don't really want that. This stuff right here prevent it. So just make sure you clean your area beforehand, and you ain't gotta worry about nothing. It's all nice and clean. I'm gonna put that water on the floor, and that lock down all of that trash. It's gonna lock it down. So that imperfection that this bumper came with, I'm gonna go ahead and sand that with 600, smooth it out real good. And then I'm gonna come back with some primer because I sanded it to the metal. You can't spray paint straight to metal. You gotta spray it straight on something that's primed, that's been prepped. It came prepped. You still gotta scuff it, but that imperfection right there is the reason why you'll have to add primer on it. Other than that, all you had to do is just scuff it. So I'm gonna just let that dry up. I'm gonna use my blower, and that speed up the process with it. So I ain't gotta wait those full increments that it say on the bottle, on the can. I'm all about efficiency. How could I do this job right and quick as possible? I ain't trying to spend all day on it. And when you spraying your primer, you want to spray it on there light. You don't want to spray no primer on there heavy. You want to spray it on there coat by coat. Build it up if you got to. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to come back. I'm going to hit it with that scuff pad. Scuff it up real good. Now it look like how it was supposed to look when it was supposed to come. It looks uniform. So now we ready to go ahead and throw all of this stuff in the booth. And I'm going to wax and grease remove it. With this wax and grease remover, you want to draw on the panel, and you got two towels. One towel is to wipe it, and the other towel is to clean it off dry. You don't want to be smearing it all everywhere, all that dust. So this other towel, that towel right there, is going to clean that dust off. Just the extra mile you take to make sure this job come out perfect. And I apologize to my viewers. I missed a step. I was supposed to show y'all me washing this. You're supposed to wash it before you do any of this to make sure any of that dust, like sand dust, all that stuff is off of there. Cause it'll just be built up on there, and it'll make it way harder for you to clean it if you don't wash it. You wash it with Dawn soap and a scuff pad, just how you sanded it. So when you wash it, you sanding it again basically, and that just gonna give you that extra protection. So this has been sanded, washed, waxed and grease removed, is ready. And we're gonna do that with everything we got up in here. Wax and grease remove everything, making sure it's all good and clean. I'm missing the glove, but you got two towels, one for to clean it off and the other one for to dry it off. You do not want to smear it. So y'all basically get it right now. Y'all can go ahead and paint your own stuff. See what I did? I made a mistake and touched that. You do not want to touch it. After touching it, it need to be wiped again. That right there can cause a chemical reaction. I could have anything on my hand. I had did an oil change before this, so that right there can cause that paint not to stick in that very spot. But we gonna go ahead and hit that thing with Bulldog adhesive, because this is plastic and we do want that paint to stick. This just gives us that extra protection, longevity, 20 years plus. Light coat, first coat, cover it up real good, trying to hide all that black. So for that second coat, it's way easier to cover. We're gonna get all in the insides. The horses that's holding this up, it's kind of hard to reach in the inside, but you can get at it in the angles. As long as you keep it wet, you're good. You ain't gotta worry about no dry spots or anything really messing up. Just don't spray it too wet. Just wet enough to where you get a nice little coverage. This right here, I got it hanging. Some people might not recommend that, but it was the only way I figured it out, me. So I go ahead and paint both sides. Come hit that bumper. And you see how I'm laying it down wet with that 75% pass. Wanted to overlap it so you're getting that extra cover when you come back. And you just want to take that all the way around. And this is the first coat now. First coat would not look amazing. Do not try to make your first coat look amazing. That's how you mess it up. So it's basically simple. You want to make sure you cover everything. You come back with a tack rag in between every coat. And you know what? I think about it. I did a mistake, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not tack rag it after I wax and grease remover. And that's another step you want to take. Just the extra mile. It's cool and all. You know, it's still gonna lay down smooth. I probably got everything with that wax and grease remover, but the tack rag would have just made show for me. It would have picked up anything loose, a little piece of hair, it would have picked it up. So I wouldn't have had nothing would be showing through the paint. And with this second coat, you just go on there a little bit more heavy, a little bit more wetter, and it's gonna cover up real good. You wanna make sure you get in the cracks, get on them edges. And another thing, I got that water on the floor. Like I said, you wanna have some. If you know your booth is clean for sure, you ain't gotta worry about this. But I know for a fact they got something on that floor that can end up in my paint. So I just, put water on it to lock it down. And you see how that pressure is when I'm spraying. That pressure right there could blow it off the ground up in the air, and then it'll land right on my panel. So that's another step that you could take to have a clean little paint job. Make sure everything nice and prep, everything clean. Put water on the floor, put water on the walls, blow the walls. It's just all kind of little stuff. Because you want everything to be clean. This stuff is going on somebody's car. Everybody going to see it. Millions of people will see it. And you want it to look good. There's a super clear university in here. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I do in my sleep. I dream this. So I basically just get a nice little good coverage on this second pass on everything. Everything gotta be hit. Everything need to be covered. If not, I hit it one more time. But I think this second pass is gonna be perfect because I got a nice little coverage. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And with this white, it don't have no metallics and none of that stuff in there, so you ain't gotta worry about it laying down blotchy or all messed up, or you ain't gotta worry about the technique you actually painting in. Really, with this right here, I could kind of be all over the place. Not saying that that's cool, but I'm just saying, like, with this color, you know what I'm saying, you can go on the side and hit a little side, or you ain't even gotta spray the whole thing like you would have to do with a metallic color or candy or something like that. You'll have to spray the whole thing over. This right here, you can just spray the side of it and it's good. It's gonna match with everything. That's just the white. So and another thing with white, like, certain colors play eye tricks with you. I could sand this truck, it'll show 80 scratches, but I could sand the truck with 180 or other stuff, and with this white, I could hide a lot of imperfections. It's not good. What if the customer want to change the color, and they got all that stuff under there that you done covered up with that white. But, yep, you got white, you got black. Black, it don't really hide stuff. Black will show everything, every imperfection you have in that paint. It's going to show you a scratch, a nick, a scuff, whatever. Black will tell on you. White is more forgiving. So, very simple. If you spraying something like this, just watch my video again, man. And it's going to teach you how to do it. It's basically the same technique with the whole car. Nothing really different. If you sanding the whole car, you do want to use a DA or a block You do not want to use a scuff pad, but this right here is just, plastic pieces and metal pieces come from the factory, never been painted, is already primed, so a scuff pad is perfect for stuff like that. So basically, I did a nice little coverage with everything. Come over here, and I'm gonna just spot paint all those black breakthroughs that they got up in there. That's so when I do come back, I ain't gotta do too much work. I can come back with that second coat and it's gonna cover everything up because I didn't cover everything with them breakthroughs. Like a metallic color, you wouldn't really be able to just do that right there because it might be more blotchy in that spot that you block. It might be more blotchy in that spot that you spot painted where you had a breakthrough in. So you'll have to spread it out a little more and blend it and all that. So you sprayed the first coat, you sprayed the second coat, you tack rag in between coats. I'm tack ragging right now after the second coat, and this right now is gonna clean that surface so I'll be able to spray the clear on there real nice and smooth. We'll get no trash. It'll be glass house, no type of nothing in it, just you. When you look at it, you're gonna see yourself. You'll be like, wow. You just wanna make sure you just lightly skim the top of the surface, get anything that might have fell on it from the air or whatever. And you want to come with that clear. You want to lightly spread for that first coat. You do want to get a nice pass, nice little coverage. You want the pressure up, probably about 30 psi. When you paint, you want the paint gun at 20 psi. You want the clear to spray more harder and more than the paint, because the clear got to be wet. You can't spray clear like paint. If it's not wet, you ain't doing it right. Treat these cars, these panels, these car pieces like females. Treat them nice, delicate. Talk to them a little bit. Let her know you there. And she gonna let you know what she need. And make sure you keep her wet. And the outcome gonna be great for you. Very, 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 very simple. Just make sure when you're spraying that clear, you spray it on wet, you're getting those cracks. This particular piece right here, I did have a run in the inside, but I had ran it off the panel. Fix that real quick. But if you see a run or anything, make sure you tend to it when it first happened. Do not let it dry, or you're gonna have to wait till it dries to even deal with it. So if you see something you don't like, drown that shit. Drown it real good so it'll fall into, cause it's clear. Clear is just it's like water. You put it on there and it all just fall into place. So if you do it when it's dry, it's gonna be stuck. You ain't gonna go nowhere. Just make sure you keep everything nice and wet. Look at everything. You do not want it to look dry. Dry, it'll look like blurry and sticky looking. It won't look more flat and nice. The 3M liners, they pretty nice. I have a problem with them leaking, but I'll just change the cup and then I have a nice little experience with it after that. But we had a metal cup. The metal cup, you can't really get that angle like you're getting right now. You can't turn it all the way upside down, around and all that. You get certain spots with that metal cup. So the 3M pretty nice. Well, I'm basically just doing the same thing I did with every panel on every panel. You do not want to switch up the technique. I mean, it ain't nothing really different. You want everything to lay down smooth and nice. You want it all to look the same. And just double check your work. Don't be in a rush. And this is the finished product. Super clean. Can't wait for it to dry so we can put it on the truck and put it back on the road. Like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. We can teach each other. Comment, tell me something you know, what you would have did. This is my way of painting. I feel like it's the best way of painting. This is gonna last very long. A super clear. Super clear. Yeah, man. Super clear university. You see me in there. Look at me. Yeah, man. Like, comment, and subscribe.